Speaker, I present the Telecommunications Amendment giving the community rights on phone towers Bill 2018 and the explanatory memorandum. Thank you.
The Clerk.
First reading a bill for an act to give the community rights in relation to the development of phone towers and certain telecommunications facilities and for related purposes.
The member for Denison.
Speaker, I move that this bill be now read a second time. Speaker, this bill seeks to amend the Telecommunications Act 1997 to give the community greater rights in relation to the replacement of mobile phone towers and other telecommunications infrastructure. Their placement. Specifically, it requires owners and occupiers of land to be notified of a proposal to either build or modify a telecommunications tower within 500 metres of their property, provides that notified owners and occupiers have 30 days in which to respond to the proposed development. It provides that new telecommunications towers cannot be declared to be low impact. It disallows ACMA from considering commercial interests when determining the importance of a facility in a telecommunications network. It requires ACMA, when considering developments near community-sensitive sites, to be satisfied that all alternative sites are unfeasible, and it enables local communities to appeal the granting of a facility installation permit to the Administrative Appeals Tribunal. Speaker, what has prompted me to table this bill, in fact for the third time, is a current proposal in my own electorate for a mobile phone tower to be established in Hill Street in West Hobart. However, this is hardly the first mobile phone tower proposal that has been brought to my attention by concerned residents. In fact, there's been many other episodes before this. For example, there were two proposals in Sandy Bay in the 8 years I've been in this place, a proposal for a tower in Merton Street in Glenorchy, and a proposal for a very large installation at the Cadbury Sports Grounds in Claremont. I would add, Speaker, that since I've been outspoken about greater community rights when it comes to phone towers, in that time I have been approached now by many people from right around Australia who have been telling me their stories and seeking my assistance. In every one of these cases, Speaker, the community has felt that they've been locked out of the process, and they've felt that their genuine concerns have not been adequately addressed. Concerns like the effect on amenity, the effect on their views, the effect on their land values, on the impact on the heritage value of their neighbourhood, the effect of building a phone tower on the local environment. And yes, of course, Speaker, many people have been concerned about issues of safety and radiation. Now, to be fair to the telcos, Speaker, sometimes they have responded. And I was delighted excuse me, that in one of those Sandy Bay instances, the phone tower proposal was dropped. When it came to the Merton Street Glenorchy proposal, Telstra did move the phone tower further up the hill and away from houses. But in other cases, for example, the other Sandy Bay phone tower, the installation at the Cadbury Sports Ground, the telcos just ran roughshod over the local community. And I'm concerned that, again, with this Hill Street West Hobart proposal, again, the telco, in this case Telstra, working in concert with Vision Stream, that again it will simply ignore the wishes of the local community. That should not be allowed to happen because, frankly, Speaker, communities have rights. It's self-evident they have rights. And when members of the community have legitimate concerns about a phone tower proposal, then those legitimate concerns should be addressed. I mean, how would you, Speaker, or anyone in this House, or the management of telcos like Telstra, how would they like to have a phone tower installation literally outside their bedroom window? Of course, it wouldn't be acceptable to them. How would you like that a big and ugly phone tower goes right in the middle of a heritage area, or it's right at the front of perhaps your investment property, if you're lucky enough to have an investment property, and then all of a sudden you find it's that much harder to get tenants because people don't want to be renting a property with a dirty big phone tower literally outside their lounge room or outside their bedroom windows. No wonder, Deputy Speaker, so many people have come to me over the years, and people have come to me in recent weeks about the Hill Street West Hobart proposal, and they're unsettled by these proposals. Sometimes they are downright scared. You know, when it comes to the safety of phone towers, in my opinion, I think that's still an open question. Now, I know every time the issue of safety is mentioned by members of the community or members in this House, the government and the telcos are very quick to lean on the standards. But frankly, Deputy Speaker, there is quite a bit of evidence now around the world which casts some doubt on those standards, and I think it would be in the public interest for that matter to be revisited by government. Now, Deputy Speaker, this is not the first time I've tried to do this. And in fact, in 2011 and again in 2014, I tabled versions of this bill virtually identical to the bill I'm tabling today. And in 2011 and again in 2014, those bills were not considered by this House, and they had no support from the Liberal Party, the National Party or the Labor Party. Now, I'm very concerned about that, Deputy Speaker, because surely our job is to represent our community and to ensure that when members of our community have legitimate concerns, then they should be addressed. People in this House should be concerned that because of the federal law and the way it, again to use that term, rides roughshod over state and local government laws, members of this House should be concerned that members of the community have virtually no rights. The telcos have all the rights, particularly if they're able to put up something and call it low impact. It doesn't even go to planning approval. And even when there's something more substantial, which a state government or local government might object to, at the end of the day, the telco virtually has an unrestrained right to build the thing and to just trample all over the concerns of the community. And trample they often do, Deputy Speaker, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters to the telco is the most convenient and the cheapest site. Well, maybe, Deputy Speaker, more often telcos should be required to find a slightly less convenient, a slightly more expensive site. Maybe they're going to have to run a power cable a little further up the hill. Maybe it is going to cost the telco a little more. Maybe the cost of that should be socialised, that we all pay an extra few cents a month on our phone bill to ensure that the services that we need, and I don't doubt that we need our mobile phones and other mobile devices, that's not the issue here, but we should be prepared to pay for the delivery of those services in a way that respects the rights of the communities into which so many of these mobile phone towers are being built. I make the point again, Deputy Speaker, of course we need this technology. I mean, I've got on my desk here, I've got a mobile phone, I've got a tablet, and I rely very heavily on those. And particularly people in areas that are prone to natural disasters, they're relying on their phones to get texts to warn them about bushfires or floods or cyclones or who knows whatever else. That technology is, and the value of that technology is not in dispute here, Deputy Speaker. What is the matter before the House is that as that technology is rolled out, and with the arrival of 5G soon, there'll be a lot more phone towers rolled out. As we do that, the telcos must be required to respect local communities and any legitimate concern a local community might have. Telcos have got to better respect amenity, views, land values, heritage, environment and safety. And if that means moving a tower or putting a tower in a slightly less convenient spot, or perhaps having to invest a little bit more money to run the power up there or to bulldoze a track to get to it, then so be it. And I commend Telstra, in fact, with the Merton Street Glenorchy project a couple of years ago now, they did move the phone tower up the hill. But the problem is, though, Deputy Speaker, that when we do have these wins, it's almost always at the end of a long and painful battle by the local community. Communities shouldn't have to fight for everything. Surely in this place we can put in place a legislative framework that gives communities the same rights as the telcos, so that if there's a fight to be had, it might have to be by the telco and not every time by the local community. So, Deputy Speaker, this is the third time I've moved this bill. Unsuccessful in 2011, unsuccessful in 2014. I do commend it to the House, and I do encourage the government and the alternative government to stop kowtowing to the telcos and start respecting the community and start understanding that your job, first and foremost, is to represent your community and to put in place legislation to protect your community. Thank you, Deputy
Is the
Speaker.
motion seconded? I call the member for Melbourne.
I second the motion to reserve my right to speak.
Thank the member for Melbourne.